Hey everyone, it's Matt from cardboardchampions.co.uk, and in this quick video we're just going to look at how to set up Rhino, the first villain in the core set box. We're actually going to skip a step here because the first step of villain setup is actually picking which villain you're going to play. And, well, you've already done that, you're here, you're playing Rhino, so let's just get stuck in. The next bit we're just going to quickly skip through before we get to the villain setup is the player setup. So before you do anything else, make sure you've got your hero ready, built your deck, set aside your nemesis and obligation, set up your hit points, and pick who's going first. Some players skip this bit thinking you can pick later. Nope, you gotta pick it now. Once that's done, we can start preparing our villain. So the first step of that is creating the encounter deck. So you want to grab the standard encounter set, and if you're playing expert, the expert encounter set as well, they go together. As well as everything that says Rhino on the bottom. Then you're going to add your obligations, and the modular set. In Rhino's case, by default it comes with Bomb Scare, but you can choose to swap this out for any other modular encounter set that you own. So for example here, I could have grabbed Masters of Evil instead. For now, let's stick with Bomb Scare. Once we've got all those, we shuffle it all up. The next step's a little bit confusing, but we need to put any cards with the setup keyword into play. That's setup with a full stop or period, not with a colon. So for example, if you're playing standard 3, then now would be the time to put Pursued by the Past into play. But it's not time yet to resolve setup abilities like the one on Black Panther. We'll get to that later. Fortunately, with Rhino, by default there's not anything with this keyword on it, so we can skip through that unless you've decided to add something yourself. Now we can move on to setting up the main scheme. Side 1A of Rhino's main scheme, the Breakin, simply has the instruction to flip it to 1B, so that's what we do. Stage 1B of the scheme is also very simple. We can see that it comes in with 0 threat, and it has no when revealed abilities. So we're done with this bit for Rhino, he's nice and simple. Then we move on to the villain's abilities. If you're playing standard Rhino, he doesn't have any when revealed or setup abilities, so we skip that. But if you're playing Rhino Expert, now's the time to resolve the ability on Rhino 2, which is to search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Breaking and Taking side scheme and reveal it. So we're just going to do that quickly. If you're on standard difficulty, you can skip this bit. But don't forget, if you do search your deck, anytime you search any part of any deck, it's time to shuffle. So we go into the deck and we grab Breakin and Takin, and we put it into play with 2 threats. Because we were told to reveal it, not simply put it into play, we then resolve the when revealed ability. So now we add threat equals the number of players to the side scheme. The last step is to set the villain's hit points, which works much the same way as the side scheme. Rhino has 14 times the number of players and hit points on normal, and 15 times the number of players on expert. So if we're setting up expert, Rhino will have 15 health for a single player and 60 health for a full group of 4. To make life easier, here's a tape. Feel free to pause it here and check out which number you want if you're not too good at maths. So here's the final setup we're looking at. We've got a couple of examples here. Obviously there's different numbers are going to vary depending on how many people you've got. But for expert with 4 players, you'd have 60 health with 6 threat on Breakin and Takin, and that's about it. Whereas on normal, you're just looking at 28 health for 2 players, and nothing else extra in play. You're now actually done setting up Rhino. Now it's time to drop your starting hand size, resolve your mulligans, that's pitch away any cards you don't want to your discard and replace them with some new ones. Now we perform the hero setup abilities. I know it's been a while since we did setup, but they're here now. And then we take our first turn. I hope you found this quick villain setup guide useful. We're hoping to eventually put one of these together for every villain that we can get our hands on to make it super simple to get rolling with even the most complex villains. So if you'd like to support us, give us a like, hit that subscribe thing, whatever it is that YouTubers say these days. We're quite new to this, but we've been writing for a while on cardboardchampions.co.uk. And if you'd like to hear more from us, just head on over to our website. We've got all sorts on there, from articles and guides to keyword listings and rule clarifications. You name it, it's there. We've got donation and subscription options available over on Ko-fi, which you'll find links for in the description if you want to help us keep the lights on. And also over there we've got kind of free pay what you want resources like campaign logs and stuff like that. So even if you don't want to give us any money, go and check it out, you might find it useful. Good luck with Rhino, and watch out for his charge. It's actually really nasty. You want to make sure that you're able to flip to alter ego until you've got someone ready to tank it to the face without dying, because otherwise you're going to get squashed. Good luck!